morning, it's Bob Mason from FX Empire and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin and Ripple's XRP. We're looking at the MACDs, the moving averages and the day support, resistance and pivot levels. It is Friday, the 11th of December. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against the US dollar, bearish start to the day after yesterday's late pullback. Going to need to see Bitcoin move back through the pivot at 18,254 to take a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 18,574. We need to see support from the broader market for Bitcoin to break back through to 18,500 levels, however. So barring an extended crypto rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 18,568 to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, got the second major resistance level sitting at 18,887 and resistance at 19,000 to pin Bitcoin back. Fair to move back through the pivot, bring the first major support level sitting at 17,941 into play. Barring an extended sell-off through the day, expect Bitcoin to steer clear of the second major support level, so it's 17,621. Looking at the MACD, we got a possible bearish cross there this morning, supporting that the early morning downside, so keep an eye on that. On the EMAs, we're also seeing the 50 pull back from the 100 and the 200, also supporting a bearish start to the morning. So keep through the early part of the day, move back through the pivot level, and back through to 18,500 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels are in play. Moving across to Ethereum against the US dollar, it's also a bearish start to the morning. You can see Ethereum move through the pivot at 560.59 to take a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 575.35. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ethereum to break back through to 570s, however. So barring a broad-based crypto rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 575.62 to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, got the second major resistance level sitting at 5888.38 and resistance at 590 to pin Ethereum back on the day. Better to move through the pivot, we'll bring the first major support level sitting at 545.56 into play. Barring an extended sell-off through the day, expect Ethereum to avoid sub 520s. Second major support level at 532.8 should limit the downside. On the MACDs, we've got a bearish cross at the start of the day, supporting the pullback through the morning. And we're seeing the 50 EMA pullback from the 100 and the 200, indicative of further downside through the day. So failure to move back through the pivot at 560.59 would bring support levels into play. Moving across to Litecoin against the US dollar, tracking the broader market, early pullback. Going to see Litecoin move through the pivot, 75.15. Take a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 77.20. Support from the broader market for Litecoin to break back through to 77 levels. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high 77.64 to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, got the second major resistance level sitting at 79.69 and resistance at 80 to limit any upside on the day. Failure to move through the pivot would bring the first major support level sitting at 72.66 into play. Barring an extended sell-off through the day, Litecoin should stay clear of sub 70s. Got the 38.2% fib at 71 and the second major support level at 70.61 to limit the downside on the day. Looking at the MACDs, we've got a bearish cross at the start of the day, supporting the pullback this morning, and we're seeing the 50 EMA pullback from the 100 and the 200 suggest a further downside through the day. So keep through the early part of the day, move back through the pivot at 75.15 and back through to 77 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and support levels are in play. Finally, looking at Ripple's XRP against the US dollar, particularly bearish start to the morning here. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP move back through the pivot at 0.5711 to bring the first major resistance level at 5895 into play. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ripple's XRP to break back through to 0.58 levels. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level and yesterday's high at 0.58874 to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, got the second major resistance level at 0.6071 and the 23.6% fib at 0.6274 to limit any upside on the day. Failure to move through the pivot would bring the first major support level at 0.5535 back into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, should see Ripple's XRP avoid the 38.2% fib at 0.5285. Second major support level at 0.5352 should limit the downside. Looking at the MACD, got a bearish cross late yesterday supporting this early sell-off, and we're seeing the 50 EMA move back marginally from the 100 and the 200, supporting this downside in the early part of the day. So key through the early part of the morning, move through the pivot at 5711 to back through to 0.58 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Failure to do that and you got support levels in play.